Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Thanks so much for being here. Now, when the name of director John Ford comes up, many people immediately think of John Wayne. Understandable. They were one of the legendary actor-director teams, making over a dozen films together. But the Duke wasn't the only Hollywood leading man that John Ford worked with often. Henry Fonda also made more than a fair share of films with John Ford, 7 all totaled. And right now we're going to show you 2 of them. We're going to start with Young Mr. Lincoln from 20th Century Fox in 1939, which was the very first collaboration of Ford and Fonda. Work on this movie began in March of 1939, although as early as 1935, the year Fonda made his first film, a memo was dictated by a Fox studio executive suggesting that they develop a screenplay about Lincoln for Henry Fonda. Fonda was not all that keen on the idea, though, saying he'd be intimidated playing a man as majestic as Abraham Lincoln. It was John Ford who eventually convinced Fonda to do it when this idea for a project about young Abe Lincoln came up. Ford's magic words to Fonda being that in this movie, he wouldn't be playing the great emancipator or the great legendary leader. He would be playing a young man who was basically just a struggling lawyer from Springfield, Illinois. By the way, what a great run of films John Ford was having at the time he made this movie. Between 1939 and 1941, John Ford directed 7 films. And what an amazing 7 they are. First came Stagecoach, then this movie, Young Mr. Lincoln. Then in quick succession, he directed Drums Along the Mohawk, The Grapes of Wrath, The Long Voyage Home, Tobacco Road, and How Green Was My Valley. I mean, very few filmmakers make 7 films that good in their lifetime. John Ford pulled it off in 2 years. So here from 1939, also with Ward Bond and Marjorie Weaver, Young Mr. Lincoln.